Good morning, good morning. We are on the downtown walking mall today, so I'm going to be telling you about this building up here with the white columns. And had to start a little later because if you don't know, there are actually leaf blowers every morning making sure that the mall is completely clean, which is fantastic, but it's very loud down here. So starting to walk a little bit later today because I wanted to cover this building, which is known as the Taylor Hotel. It is no longer a hotel. If you're not from the area, just know that. It currently has McAdoo's restaurant and some other things, apartments upstairs. But so this is the Taylor Hotel. It was built in 1848 and it went through a lot of transitions since then. So once it stopped being a hotel, it was a department store at one point, it was a telecom center, it was a theater, which I'm going to show you a little bit of that history when we walk around the side of it. But when I moved here, these porches were completely gone. It was all boarded up, including there was a building in between the two buildings there, which is now a walkway, you'll see, all boarded up. So it was vacant in, I think, 2004, and it sat vacant until 2007 when part of it actually collapsed. I'll show you that in just a minute. So a bunch of people got together and the city really wanted this redone, so a bunch of investors did. They got together, they refinished it. Nothing inside, unfortunately, was salvageable, so there's no historic details inside or anything. But outside, they took it back to exactly what it looked like when it was built in 1848. So before 1848, before the Taylor Hotel was here, there was another hotel called the McGuire Hotel, and that was there before the Revolutionary War, right? So a long time. So it acted as a stagecoach stop for both passengers and mails, not males as well. So it was a very, very important, center of town location. So like I said, 2004, it was vacant. In 2007, part of it collapsed. So I'm going to walk you around. So we are in the north end of the mall, and behind Taylor Hotel is what we call Taylor Pavilion now, as well as the Fly Tower, and that is the tall building behind it. But if you look at the Fly Tower, you can kind of see the outline of where another building was attached to it. So there was actually, this went all the way back. This was completely filled with a huge, that's essentially where the theater was. The Fly Tower is called the Fly Tower because it was connected to the theater, and it has a pulley system inside that would pull up, and all the storage, everything was upstairs for all of the backdrops and curtains and all of those elements. So in 2007, thankfully it was vacant, but this portion collapsed, not all the way, but a partial collapse. And so that was really what spurred the city trying to find someone, and investors kind of coming in and figuring out what they wanted to do. So now Taylor Pavilion, we have farmers market here, lots of events, tons of live music. Some things have kind of come and gone since COVID, but there's always lots of stuff going on. You also have the Taylor wine room right there with those fantastic garage doors. It's great to sit there for any event or just go in and have a drink. It's really, really great lighting. If you want to do a selfie, that's one of the best places in Winchester. But so Taylor Hotel, like I said, it's right in the center of town, and so it played a really, really important piece in the history, and lots of people that were famous came through because it was one of course, one of the places that you could stay. There weren't many. So it was built by Bushrod Taylor, which is why it was called the Taylor Hotel. But people that had stayed, Henry Clay, okay, do not like that guy. If you don't know Henry Clay, look him up. There's a fantastic tour in Pittsburgh. If you ever get there, there is a whiskey and history tour, and it is one of the best that I've ever been on, not even just for the drinks, but for the stories. So you will find out a lot about Henry Clay and where he actually did all of his horrible stuff in Pittsburgh. Yeah, not fun. But Turner Ashby, Stonewall Jackson, of course, used this as one of his headquarters at some points during the Civil War. So it holds a lot of history from there. And then also Davy Crockett Am I the only person that thought Davy Crockett was made up? I thought it was like a character in stories. I did not think he was a real person until I moved to Winchester and learned a bunch of stories about him. He was real. Had no idea. So anyway, yeah, so the Pavilion has tons of events, other guests. I'm not sure if George Washington actually stayed here in the McGuire Hotel, not in the Taylor Hotel. I think he did, if I recall reading that. But yeah, so I don't know any ghost stories about it, unfortunately. But let's walk down here. So we were on the upper end of Indian Alley, which I did on my last walk, and I just want to mention that because last night we went to Antica Trattoria. If you are not on their list, we haven't been there, just go. But they have amazing wine dinners as well, and so we were there last night. So just Facebook message Piara or call them, ask them to be put on the wine dinner list because it's super fun, tons of food and tons of wine that you may not have tried before. So let's walk down here. So the Taylor Wine Room was actually started by the original owners of Valerie Hill Winery, which has been sold. So now they are just, they may have other things, but I know that they're still doing the wine room, but they did sell Valerie Hill. Really great, intimate place for dates. So let's walk down to finish our walk at the upper end of Indian Alley, since I showed you the lower end the other day. And I just want to show you, we'll end on one of the very first murals that was ever actually done in Winchester. My office was in this building at the time that they did it, and now we have so many murals, so I'll be showing you lots of those on our walk. There's actually a couple around the corner here we might see on our way back down here, but this was the first one. And it's a violinist, which is near and dear to my heart. This is the Bright Box building. This is the back side. So look at this fantastic mural. And then we'll end on, we won't be able to see all of it, but I love this one because it's a lot of the famous buildings in Winchester. How cool is that? The train station, the fire station, the library, and there are trucks there, so I can't show you more. But thank you for joining my morning walk today. Hope you enjoyed those stories. I will be back again with some more history of Winchester and all of the amazing places that we have here. So I hope you will join me. Please follow us, especially if you are on TikTok or YouTube. So we're trying to grow those channels so that we can go live and show you all kinds of fun things, events. So there we go. It's great seeing you this morning. I'll see you again later.